Hey guys, it's Zach back with another review. This time the OdinLake L1 Ergo. It's a chair that I had the privilege to try out for about 4 months now. I had a hot ignition previously. It wasn't quite doing it for me. I wanted some more lumbar support, so I figured I would give this a shot, and it's been a joy for me thus far. Note, I somehow have this wireless system on my dynamic microphone now from Fine, which is pretty sick. It means I can actually have not complete crap sound quality in this review, which I'm pretty stoked about. And with that, let's get right into the chair itself. It retails for about $350, but there will be a sale during Black Friday for $60 off and another off with my code. So should you like that chair, go ahead and check it out. I enjoyed the chair quite a bit. It has a lot of adjustability features that I've not seen fully on a chair before, and a couple small caveats I will mention. So the first thing I want to cover is the wire control system. Instead of two levers, there's actually wires that come out of the back of these two controls right here, one for the height of the chair and the other for how forward or backward your seat is. Nice easy adjustments up and down here. It can get very tall, very low to the ground, and then I can shift my seat forward, shift my seat backward. Very easy adjustments here in general. As far as the lumbar support goes, it's different than I've ever experienced. It's very prevalent. You can definitely feel that in the crevice of your back. The way it works is sort of when you lean into it, it pushes back and stays in tension with your back. I'm going to show you that right now. And as you might have been able to tell, it took quite a bit of force for me to get that back, so it is a very strong presence. It provides a lot of support for your back. The back here, the main frame of the chair, has 4 levels of adjustability. You can go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you hold it all the way at the top, it'll drop back down and readjust to the lowest height. Headrest does the exact same thing and actually has more levels of adjustability. I had mine all the way at the bottom where I was sitting, but I can go super high and then again drop back down. So tons of adjustability for like different shapes and sizes of bodies, as far as like portions of your like torso to your neck and head, just to make sure the seat can be super comfortable and support your body. It also touts a dual frame design. The chair is pretty sturdy here in use. It has what they call this flex breath mesh here, which is pretty tight, but there is some give to it. What I found to be interesting is that it's a very different experience here on this mesh than it is on like a standard seat cushion. So when you sit down, it's a lot firmer, like you're not going to sink into that pad at all. And something I wanted to point out here is I often sit sort of crooked like this with one leg down, and depending on how you angle your leg, like maybe your foot's out a little bit farther, you might run into like this rough edge here and it might be very uncomfortable. And just in general, you do get some fatigue over time if you're someone who sits like on your foot or your lower leg, because you're sort of digging into that mesh. If you sit like this, sometimes it can be more comfortable to use like a seat cushion, for example. This didn't really bother me too much overall. It in reality probably helped how I sat, and I guess the firmness of the seat just does keep you more upright in general. Even with the lumbar and my neck back, I think I'm in a pretty nice position here. Obviously when I'm gaming, I sort of adjust that and I lean forward. I'm just used to that. It's not the best thing to do, but I just do it. And honestly, I probably won't change that. The other part of this like wire system here is this left hand knob, and that allows you to tilt really far back here. I believe it's 135 degrees of tilt. Not something that I ever used. I just sort of sat upright. But if you want to chill, lean back, and relax, you have that option as well. One more point to bring up here is that this base is very solid metal. It feels more expensive than a lot of the other office chairs I've used in my life. It just have a plastic base, very sturdy, just feels a little bit more premium, a little bit more high quality. I think the hot ignition was the exact same price as this chair, but this does just feel like it has more features and overall is a more just like established, high quality, solidly constructed chair for what it's worth. And I wasn't necessarily expecting that out of the box with the same price tag, but that did actually impress me quite a bit. The last thing I sort of want to mention here is the armrests. This is the lowest height. They can go all the way up to this height if you just sit super tall or you're like a super tall person. The one main complaint I do have on this chair is that if you're like using the armrest to push yourself up and like adjust, which I do a lot when I'm sitting in the chair because I'm like switching which leg I'm sitting on, for example, the armrests do move quite easily. Like they are adjustable left and right. There's one to the right, one to the left here. They can go pretty far forward or they can go pretty far back here. But as I mentioned, often if I push to adjust myself, it would just sort of slide like this and throw me off a little bit. Great that they're adjustable. I just do wish that you could lock them in place. I did not find a way to do that. But otherwise, again, a couple left, a couple right, very far forward, very far backward. So you can adjust these up, down, however you want those armrests to be very comfortable for you. It's a ton of adjustability, which is sort of the theme with this chair. You can sort of fit it to your body as long as you get used to this lumbar here, which is very, very prevalent. But again, if you sit far back, it has that give to push back. So it's not like making you sit awkwardly forward, for example. You can find a pretty comfortable position, and honestly, that was pretty nice. A few more notes, and you may wonder why I have these gloves. These were included with the chair as part of the assembly kit, and I did wear them because I have soft PC gaming baby hands for what it's worth, but a nice inclusion nonetheless. Overall, the assembly was very simple. Did not take me very long at all. The instructions were very clear. I think it was like maybe 20 minutes or so at the most, and I paused once to grab a drink. So very good instructions, very easy assembly, which not always the case for the chair. Obviously, it's relatively heavy, so a one-person assembly does require you to sort of figure out a way to sit it down and support the weight as you get those screws into the chair. It would be a lot easier with 2 people. You take note of that. But overall, easy enough for even me, who's not the handiest person in the world, to assemble by himself in a short amount of time. So when it comes to my overall impressions of the OdinLake OdinLake L1 Ergo. I was very impressed. It will be replacing the hot ignition as my sort of go-to main chair. I did put the ignition at my work from home desk, but that desk is in a standing position almost 100% of the time because, as you may have seen, and I'll show you here, ignore all the junk. You can see the calculator holders there hanging from my desk that holds all the ridiculous extra mice I have, so I have no choice really but to leave them there and keep it adjusted up at all times. L1 OdinLake, this will be my main chair going forward. Very impressed, very adjustable, very comfortable. Sort of ended up making me sit with a better posture, which is a definite plus. And overall, no regrets at all trying out this chair. Just remember, mesh is not a soft cushion. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. You can find me on Twitter at DAZZ. Check out the Mousecast podcast and my peripheral Discord server. And with that, we'll see you.